But let's get into the first 3 episodes of season 2 to start it off. Do you guys have any strong opinions you would like to share?
I think that's honestly part of the issue is I don't.
Oh, that was so perfect by me. Let's freaking go.
Yeah, thanks for the love.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought they were good. There was just nothing too crazy that stuck out to me, but I guess in the same vein, there wasn't too much crazy that stuck out to me in the first few episodes of season 1. It took until the one big episode until I was like, whoa, this is crazy good. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like a lot of the stuff they're doing. The whole thing they set up with the end of last season with the split groups and the different times.
I really like that. I think it's pretty cool.
It's cool for
But
sure.
I know that you guys are saying you're not a big fan of like different timelines, but
I'm not like-
I think I like that more than you guys. But
Okay. I don't necessarily hate it. I think timelines and time travel in general is really hard to write and usually just ends up making things difficult for narratives and plot because you feel like you can just change things whenever. And it's really hard to execute really well. I think, honestly, Endgame might be a good example of like it's about as good as you can do it.
there's a lot of people that think Endgame
And people
is
still think it's bad because
Yeah.
they do take a moment to explain it, but it doesn't explain everything by any means. Because if you wanted to explain everything about how time travel works in a universe, it would take like half the movie.
Yeah.
So it's just never going to be a perfect answer by any means, unfortunately.
But comparing these first 3 episodes to the first 3 episodes of season 1, I prefer season 1. I do think these episodes are all good though. Like I genuinely would give all these episodes like an 8. I really enjoy.
I put them all in the 8s.
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I like binged the first season like within a week basically. Part of that was out of necessity for like just wanting to be able to review season 2.
Yeah.
I think honestly, if I had like watched it organically, I don't know if I would have watched it that fast. To be honest, I enjoyed it, but I don't know if I ever really felt like I have to watch the next episode. Whereas I felt that, and I'm not saying it's bad at all. Like I still enjoy the show. Like I'll wait to give my score for season 1 when we talk about that later. But I'll say it's a decent score. I don't hate it by any means. I enjoy watching it. I still feel like other shows have drawn me in more. But I will say like there is a point in like about halfway through the first season that it draws you in way more.
Yeah.
And I would like that's when I cared about it the most. And that was like the one time I felt like, okay, I need to watch the next episode.
Absolutely.
But like other than that, I don't know if I don't know if I felt like, oh, I have to watch the next episode right now. And maybe that's just because they haven't done like, I don't know, a ton of like super like crazy cliffhangers. Most of the time the episode ends kind of like in a more solid spot, I feel like. But specifically these first 3 episodes, I enjoyed them all. Like you said, I would probably give them all decent scores. Like they're probably all at least 7.5 for me.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed them. I just don't think anything was like super crazy yet or like that amazing.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's a good start though.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know which one was my favorite, to be honest. I think they're all pretty close.
They're all very close to me. I put them all around an 8 point, I think 4
It's like a low 8 for me. Gosh, if I had to pick one, maybe episode 2.
I was going to say, I think I lean episode 2 slightly.
Yeah.
I thought the Jubilee scene was really cool.
Yeah, especially because I don't think she's like one of my least favorite parts of season 1.
She doesn't really like to do much. She gets that one episode and it's pretty bad. And then aside from that, she doesn't do a whole lot. She's just really with Roberto, like Sunspot. And so I like that moment of her getting to shine by saving the mutants and getting them out, and then you get to showcase her powers a lot more. So that's cool.
So I like the X-Force stuff. I think that's my favorite part so far. In episode 3, I liked the Apocalypse stuff too.
Yeah. Both the timelines of the first episode being focused in the
that's
future.
just really interesting. I'm excited for next week because like we saw this is gonna be part 1. I'm hoping that the next part will be really, really good because I think it could be, but we'll see. I think that's all sick. Jubilee is a big part of episode 2, especially considering what she was in episode 1. So I'm happy they're actually giving her, like, I don't want to say she was like just kind of there in season 1, but honestly she kind of was for a lot of it. So giving her actually some stuff to do that's actually impactful, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. That I really liked that. Yeah, but I like jumping between all the different time zones and seeing what everyone's up to, and everyone has their own plans. X-Force, I know I start off saying that's one of my favorite parts. I think that's cool. I like Cable a lot. I really like seeing. He's gonna be a big part of the season. I really like that. He's sick. What do you guys think about Cable?
Cable's cool. He's awesome. Yeah.
We had to talk about if we think he remembers everything that.
Yeah. That's what I'm confused about, because he has that conversation in the diner with Gene and Scott, like, and they basically like, you know, telling him that they love him and this stuff, and he brings up how people like talked about them as like legends, and how even the legends they talked about didn't live up to like who they actually are as people. Like their legends could never fill up their shoes.
Yeah.
But then like now they're in his past, so it's like, why would he? Why didn't he bring? I mean, maybe he didn't bring them up because like he didn't want to alter the timeline. Maybe that's like the reasoning. I'm not exactly sure the reasoning, but
it's weird because like and every single other thing I've watched where people go back in time, they always like are hard on the fact that if you change one thing, that's a chain of reactions that could completely change the future. Like you've no idea like how much could change. So that's why Charles the whole time was like, yeah, I'm not trying to mind read, I'm not trying to do all this, because he doesn't want to like really change anything. And then that's why he's getting so mad at Eric for doing all that.
But what's funny is in the future timeline, they're like perfectly fine with using their powers to kill like whoever, pretty much, or whatever like droids come after them or anything. Like they're fine with it. But like, so it's like they're like, it's almost like they're picking and choosing when
I
when
think
they care about.
It has to do kind of with the split parts, like they both have different mindsets going into it. Like in the past, with Eric and Charles and Rogue Nightcrawler, that group, I think they're trying harder not to change what will become the future, other than Eric, who Magneto just doesn't care. He's trying to set up this new future, which I think is something really cool. It's interesting.
I
to
do
see.
too. I love that.
I liked seeing Eric or Magneto, like he leaning into Charles's dream of wanting to set up this coexistence in the future, and seeing this opportunity and like convincing Apocalypse of that idea, and then pushing that for the future, and then they could have this utopia potentially of mutants and humans coexisting. So I think they're focused more in the past on not changing the future, other than Magneto. And then in the future world with Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, all them, I think they're very much driven by the fact of wanting time with their son.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things that they're just willing to say, we don't care. We're going to change some stuff, so who cares?
Yeah.
So
I hope they explain it. I hope they like say why, because they did randomly, like after every single time it would switch back to from the future back to like the current, like the 1997, or even back to in 1997 they would always start with Cable. Like it would just like, kind of like switch from that to Cable. So I wonder if some way they're doing that to let you know that he's like getting all those memories, like after it shows all of it, then it's just like that he's learning them there, like you were saying. But also you can make the argument that like maybe that he already knows that happens because he's from the future. That's all like that version of Cable, that was that young kid. He knows all that happened. So I don't know what.
Well, it's also interesting though, because I can't remember if it's in the penultimate or the ultimate episode, but when Sinister like forces Cable to talk,
it's in the finale.
He asks him, or what's his name, starts with a B. The other villain, like the main villain.
Bastion.
Yeah, Bastion. Sorry. When he like asks him like, how many times did you try to save your mom, and then Sinister makes him tell him, and he says 200 times. So it's like Cable has like repeated history multiple times to try and change it. So it almost comes down to the point of like, does he even have all of his memories because of how many times he's tried to change things?
That's true.
Like I wonder like how would someone even be able to conceive some memories if you relive the same moment 200 different times? Like I feel like your past would just like blend together. Like you wouldn't really remember anything.
You would definitely have a hard time figuring out which one is the definitive past.
Same thing. Like that's basically what all of Jean's like storyline in the first
her clone.
Yeah, with her clone. That's like the whole storyline is like they don't know whose memories are theirs.
Is probably the best like explanation of it. He really doesn't know what's.
Yeah, he probably doesn't remember like what is actually his timeline versus
because
like,
he has done a lot. I mean, like he literally said that's his whole like mission. I need to go back in time and destroy Apocalypse and prevent all this from happening. So he's definitely done that so many times because he's still doing it. So, but yeah,
good point.
That was a good point. That's the one thing that we were talking about while we were watching it. I know you kind of briefly mentioned. Did you like the Wolverine look?
Oh, the new look.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's cool to see it differently. I prefer him with the adamantium, but it's cool to see him with the bone claws and like the more scruffy look and the hood and stuff. Like it's sick.
A lot of them had some really cool.
Yeah,
looks,
I loved.
honestly.
Yeah, Cyclops look was like awesome. Like I loved his like desert style look. I think Storm even like I thought all of them like had like really cool looks. I wish we would have maybe gotten the other group to get more of like.
They
Like
had
I know
some
Magneto has a
differences.
beard, but like I feel like they didn't really like.
Their like clothes aren't all that different, but they are different colors. Rogue is a bit different. Nightcrawlers was a bit different.
Yeah,
they're all somewhat different, but they're not nearly as
it's
different.
different. Yeah,
as the future
I
ones.
liked how different they. I guess the other
I
styles
agree.
were. I would have preferred them to be more different and as that as well. And like I wish they like. I guess they kind of leaned into that future style look. I wish they would have leaned more into like
a past
style
Yeah.
look for those characters.
I agree. Do you want to talk about your preferences of the different versions of Apocalypse?
Oh, I think the old version
Bro
of
was
him.
hating.
No, I mean, I just don't think, and maybe it's just the animation style. I think the current or like the present look of Apocalypse is just not that intimidating. But to be fair to the present look, we've not really seen him like attacking yet.
He hasn't done too much for sure.
So I don't want to hold him to that standard yet because I haven't seen him attack yet. But just off of like the few pictures and like still shots we've seen of his face, like the past version of himself is way more intimidating.
He does
and,
look cool.
and way cooler
The
looking.
design's nice.
I kind of wish they just would have like
Kept that.
kept that and maybe made him look more like
I think they-
matured and like rugged or something. Like I feel like that would have looked cooler. I get though that they're trying to like a lot of this is trying to be like comic accurate, and I think that's how they're showing him for the present version is kind of how he looks in the comics, from my understanding. So I think that's what they're kind of going for. But I just think the past version of him looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like Nick said, you were hating. I actually fully agree. I don't think
I
I
do too.
care too
I
much,
definitely
but
like that, like desert, like
Yeah.
like
The
was-
Egyptian like
times
style look, yeah. Like it looks like he had the beard and the long hair. Like the style just looks awesome on him.
Yeah.
He looks sick.
The future version of him, you said it, and it's just true. He kind of looks like a clown. The whole
does,
blue
yeah.
line is like there. It looks so much tougher when it's on.
Bro, he
the
looks
past
goofy
version.
and
It's because
what's
the
movie?
face is like more puffy and the lines are like thicker. They're not as thin.
Yeah.
It just looks like clown makeup almost on him. Like I don't. It's hard to take him super seriously. But like they kept just spamming that one picture that's in Cable's file, and it just doesn't look intimidating.
Yeah, he was
at
over here
all.
like laughing. He'd be going,
I know because like I was just like, bro, that's not intimidating at all. But who like I'll probably eat my words like 2 or 3 episodes from now when
He might
he's
look
like
toughest.
marching down.
this is a Thrag
on-
I was gonna say it's gonna be a Thrag type of like turnaround. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But like just based off the few pictures we've seen of him, like bro does not look intimidating.
he looks
at
goofy.
all.
Is it Age of Apocalypse? Is that the movie? What's it called?
It's just called X-Men Apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks goofy in that movie.
He does
too.
look kind of goofy.
Well,
I think that still looks better than the clown makeup sort of future we get.
I don't know, man.
But by far the toughest look is that
Yeah,
past,
it is.
like Egypt one.
It
Oh my
is,
god.
yeah.
Which it's just all the villains in the first season look so like intimidating, like Sinister, Bastion, like even the demon bird thing that attacks
I think it's
Storm.
crazy.
Like all those things look so intimidating, and I just don't feel that way as much from the present day Apocalypse look. But like I said, I don't want to judge it too much because we haven't actually seen him like
Do all that much.
do that much yet. So maybe he will be more intimidating once we actually see him in action. But that past look is awesome.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I'm excited. I will say I do like what they're doing with him, especially just from looking into the past a lot more than what they did in the movie. So
Definitely. There's some more setup going on compared to the X-Men Apocalypse movie. There's also some similarities.
He just seems like, obviously I've not read a single X-Men comic. In terms of like every like superhero team and just like superhero media in general, X-Men probably is my weakest like in terms of what I know about it. But from what I've seen, Apocalypse seems like a character that really needs a lot of build up, like really needs you to go back to these times and show how he got to that point to actually build out his character. So I really, really, really like what they're doing with this. So maybe it could end up these last, like they building up to enough where this second half is like peak. I could see that. So.
Very well could.
Yeah, I could see it as well. He's going to be such a better villain that we're getting to see his backstory and what made him become the villain versus just being like he's just evil.
Villains elevate, bro. You gotta build them out, and if you do that,
and as he said, as long as you have villains like motivation, it makes it 10 times better. So yeah, I agree. I think they've already set up to the point where Apocalypse probably will be a better villain than anybody from season 1.
Yeah,
which is really cool. So I'm excited to see what that brings for the next few episodes, and especially towards the end.
I have a question for you guys, just in terms of the show in general. I guess like a main storyline, especially explored in the movies, is Magneto as the villain, and we don't really get that in the show at all. Like he's always kind of been.
I like it.
He's still I guess he's kind of an anti-hero more, like because he still does some things that are like not necessarily hero based.
He's definitely probably more of an anti-hero. Yeah.
Would you have liked to seen him in a villain role at all, or are you kind of okay with
from
how
what we
it?
got in X-Men 97 season 1? I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff with him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I really liked what they did. Like he was one of my favorite characters of season 1 for sure.
Absolutely. I was gonna say I think they portray Magneto as a villain much more often. They do it in the movies more, and then they definitely, from what I understand, the majority of the X-Men show in the 90s that this is based connected to, they had him as the villain for the majority of that as well. So I think it's really cool to see a different side and see him work with the X-Men. Obviously, they have varying levels of opinions on that, and they bicker and have fights and disagreements on stuff. But it's cool to see that, and you still get a moment where he decides that Earth isn't ready for Charles' vision of the future. So he asks the X-Men to join him in his cause, and that's where you see Sunspot and Rogue go with him.
Yeah.
So you still get a little bit of that. So I definitely think I like this side of showing Magneto more because I think it's a bit more interesting. You get the connection with him and Charles a lot as well. So that's one of the most intriguing aspects of X-Men.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of my favorite parts of X-Men is that dynamic between Charles and Eric. Also, about the movies real quick, my favorite X-Men movie besides Logan is First Class. And in that movie, their dynamic is so good. And that's before he is like the villain, you want to say, like in that movie. So I love that stuff. I definitely prefer, I think he's way more interesting when he's like side by side with Charles. And then when they build up his motivations and all that, that's awesome.
You see the seeds of him being a villain and the moments where he could be, but you also see his humanity. Like you saw in this the final episode that we saw in this season 2, episode 3, where it's kind of revealed that he's trying to set up this future in Charles's vision, that he wants to try and persuade Apocalypse to be a more altruistic and set up this future of mutants and humans coexisting. So I think it's really cool to see him with a more morally righteous or more in line with Charles, however you look at it, that line of thinking, as opposed to him just being a villain and an opposing force.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think like at the end of the day, what at least my love for X-Men comes down to that relationship between Charles and Eric. Like that is the foundation that everything else is built off of. The main reason I asked that question is because I feel like, especially in today's media, there oftentimes certain characters are just turned into anti-heroes without like us getting a proper representation of them as villains, like Venom and like Lobo with the Supergirl. So I was just curious, but like I agree. I think we've gotten enough representation of Magneto as a villain that I'm okay with seeing him in an anti-hero role as well.
Like I said, I also think it's honestly more interesting too, and he deserves to get a lot of that because, from my understanding, that's a big part of the comics and certain comic runs that a lot of people love. So yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm excited to see what else they do with him. We talked about, I love how they're already making him and Charles kind of disagreeing away about what they do in the past and all that. They're back on him in the normal timeline now, but all that was awesome. So what else you guys got about the first 3 episodes? I'm trying to think of other big points. A lot of it was set up, I feel. So.
Yeah, it's definitely setting up.
Yeah.
So like we said, there's nothing that made me feel too strongly about like, oh, this was amazing or this was terrible. Yeah. It's all just good, and that's kind of what you need for the starts of sometimes. I mean, that's exactly how I said the start of season 1, where there was not really a single incredible episode.
I think
until-
episode 2 is really good.
I will say episode 2 of season 1, I do like more than any episode
Yeah.
in this season so far. That was, I think I would give it an 8.9 if I remember correctly.
I think I gave it a 9 flat.
Okay, so yeah, we both really liked it. But then you get to episode 4 in season 1, which is the whole Gambit sacrifice.
Oh, is it? I thought it was 5. Is it 4?
5?
I think it's 5.
Okay, maybe
It's
I
one
could
of the
be
two.
off. It's one
You
of the.
can
But that's
check.
the first episode where you're like,
Yeah, it's
oh
either 4.
my god.
I think it's 5. I think it is 5.
I'm gonna check real quick.
Yeah, just check. But either way, that episode, that is the episode was like, and the thing is, I hope we can get something close to that.
Yeah,
It's gonna be hard though.
What do
It's
you
gonna be
think-
tough.
At least within the first 5 episodes.
what do
or
you
whatever.
think would be that for? What is the?
It's gotta be something
Gambit moment?
sick with a, like you're saying that like something that happens similar to Gambit, or just a moment that is as big as that.
Either or.
It's
like, do you
gotta be
think
something with Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say like it could be something. Just it's
Or
crazy.
maybe
steps.
Cable?
It
I
is
don't know.
episode 5, by the way. so
5,
that's right.
okay.
But yeah, so like, is there going to be a crazy sacrifice that we see again, or is there going to be just this insane scene that's that really hits with the audience?
Oh, sacrifices. I'm trying to think of characters we think that could be in a situation that do that.
I don't know if that. I don't know.
I don't think they're gonna do Professor X because he wasn't in a lot of
No.
season 1. He's gonna be here through the whole
I
time.
don't think Magneto.
they won't do
either, to be
Magneto again
honest.
because they like killed
Killed-
him
yeah.
off.
I
Like maybe something with Cable
I'm trying.
I was thinking Cable.
Yeah.
because his whole thing is like I need to move on and do it. So I could see that.
Maybe there's a final moment where he finally ends his back and forth of
Mm-hmm.
trying to protect the world from
But
apocalypse.
also I feel like that's gonna be something that happens like the end of the season.
What about like?
yeah,
uh,
100%.
what do you think like Sunspot? Like with Jubilee, do you think he like sacrifices
He
himself?
could to protect her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
don't
could.
think that will hit nearly as hard as Gambit's did though.
You don't think?
Probably not, but it could be. I could definitely see that happening.
Gambit's just a bigger character.
No, I agree.
And they did a lot of that. A lot of that. Like, how'd you feel with that love triangle?
That's so funny. I mean, I don't love it by any means. Like I said in a past episode,
love
if you-
triangle hater right here.
I almost never enjoy a love triangle. I'm not gonna say never, but I rarely do because I don't like forced romantic drama, and many love triangles have some amount of forced romantic drama. So I will say I didn't even like that part of the first season. I didn't necessarily love it. I think that's the only reason it held it back from being a 10. for
the
me.
love triangle.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I think I gave it a 9.9 because of that. But I don't think it was bad by any means. I just, once again, I just don't like it. So I think that was one of the more believable ones. The only weird part to me is it's just weird to picture Magneto being interested in Rogue that way. And I don't know if that's just something that's always been in the comics.
I'm
It's on
curious if that is
FC.
something in the comics because I
'Cause
thought it was a little weird too.
There's clearly an age gap, and that throws me off a little bit.
Some people were down for that freaky stuff.
I mean, yeah, but like, I just,
Rogue,
I don't know.
Rogue seems like a freak. I can't even lie.
I mean, definitely, but
I think it also just comes from the fact that she can have physical contact with him.
that is
like,
the big thing, yeah.
'Cause, like,
for sure.
she can't have that with anyone
That
else.
honestly is very true.
But yeah.
That got her going.
Okay.
Sorry. But anyway, yeah, I ran with that. The reason why I brought that up is I think a reason you could say why Gambit's sacrifice was is besides him being a big character and a beloved character before that show even is the fact that they were building that up with Rogue so much. And
Absolutely.
you can say that same stuff for Sunspot and Jubilee, but that stuff in season 1 wasn't that great.
I don't know if they would actually kill him. I don't know if you could kill him, but if like Wolverine did like sacrifice himself for Jean or something, I could see that being like a super emotional moment.
It definitely could. They would just have to set up a lot more, and they haven't
Yeah.
done that enough
we
yet.
barely got him in these first 3 episodes.
Yeah, we did. He's not gotten a whole lot.
Generally, after you were like, oh, look at the new claws, the new look, and we literally saw like nothing.
Yeah.
Did we even see him at all after that? Maybe in like a scene in the background.
He went to attack one of the robots and broke his bone claws.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's just playing towards the fact that that most people don't realize it if they haven't like seen any comic related stuff. And I'm not crazy in depth in it, but he's not a main character in the comics
Yeah, he's
by
not.
any means.
I was gonna
He's-
say I don't have a problem with it. I actually really like. I could talk about this in season 1 too, but I really like how how certain characters they're getting focused on way more than they are in the movies.
Yeah.
Like the movies, it was a lot of just Charles and
Charles,
Eric,
Eric, and Wolverine are by far
and Wolverine. Yeah,
the main characters
so
of most
I'm
of the X-Men
completely
movies.
if there's gonna be a character that's silent, I think you gotta do Charles and Eric because of just how big they are,
Yeah.
and just their dynamic and all that. But Wolverine, I'm completely fine with not getting that much of him. So
Yeah,
it's not
we
that.
have so many movies
it's not a
dedicated to
complaint
him,
for
and
me.
because Hugh Jackman is such an incredible portrayal of him,
Mm.
that he has solo movies. So I mean, we've got plenty of Wolverine content
Mm-hmm.
already. So I think it's absolutely cool to see Cyclops and Rogue
Yeah, I
and
love
Jean
seeing the Cyclops stuff.
and
It's making him skyrocket up my list, like of like favorite superheroes.
absolutely.
I agree. Yeah, any other season 2 stuff? We can get on to the season
Season
1
one?
thoughts if you
Yeah,
guys
I
want.
don't think so. I think covered season 2. Like we said,
Mm-hmm.
we all seem to like it. Nothing too crazy, but we're optimistic for the future. We obviously did a couple predictions of maybe some big moments we might see.
We'll see. But I'm
So-
excited. It's a good start
Yeah.
for sure. None of those episodes were bad at all.
Yeah. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments
yeah.
in season 2.
We're gonna probably review episodes 4 through 6 in a couple weeks. We're gonna do episodes of 3 together, so it'll be 3 sections. Unless one of these episodes is like insane and we have to talk about it.
Unless
But
there's a
that's the
Gambit
plan.
episode crazy moment, like we probably are gonna just cover it in 3 different sections.
I just don't see there being like a Genosha level event.
Yeah, that's so
like,
incredible. There's very few moments in superhero or Marvel media that live up to that. There definitely are, but like that was such an incredible moment. So yeah, I doubt there will be, but we will definitely be covering the rest of season 2 of X-Men '97 in future episodes. So please stay tuned.
Stay tuned.